Yeah, I raped her.
What was going on in your mind at the time when you were doing this?
To give me the sex, then I will be satisfied. Even you don't, I will make a plan to kill you.
You get to realize that that woman, she's now HIV positive.
Yes.
How do you feel that you gave her HIV?
I feel okay.
How many men have you taken them by force and sleep with them?
Maybe 21, 24.
21, 24?
Yes.
So I watched this video and I was really infuriated. But then I'll tell you what you have to do if you find yourself in this kind of scenario. Well, we don't pray for that actually. So whether you're a man or you're a woman, you have to do this if you find yourself in this kind of scenario. So you have to understand one thing. HIV is a retrovirus. So what does that even mean? It means that HIV has an RNA material and it cannot use this material without the human enzyme. So what it does is it uses the human enzyme called the reverse transcriptase enzyme to actually convert itself from RNA to DNA. So when you find yourself in this kind of scenario, you have to go straight to the hospital. And once you're in the hospital, you tell the doctor what you've experienced. The doctor will examine you, ask you questions, and then get you tested. So the doctor will actually place you on the PEP medication. So what is the PEP medication? The PEP medication is called the post-exposure prophylaxis. That's after you've been exposed, it prevents you from acquiring this virus. So what this medication does is, this medication actually blocks your reverse transcriptase enzyme. Then once it blocks it, the virus will be unable to use your reverse transcriptase to convert itself from RNA to DNA. So this virus is actually useless without a DNA. So that's why it needs the human reverse transcriptase enzyme to convert itself. And then once it converts itself to a DNA, that's when it integrates into the human cell and then it starts replicating, it starts multiplying, and then the replication can be very fast. It can happen within hours and within days, and that's why it's important to go to the hospital as soon as you're exposed to this kind of scenario. But there is something you really need to understand. Timing is of the essence. You have to go to the hospital immediately this happens, especially if you know you're free from HIV. You have to rush to the hospital immediately this happens, and it has to be within like 24 to 72 hours, because this virus is really fast. Within hours it starts to use the human reverse transcriptase to convert itself and starts replicating. It happens within hours to days. So you have to, so time is really of the essence, you understand. So this medication, this PEP medication I explained previously, has to be taken 28 to 30 days, like a month. You have to comply to the medication advice of the doctor so that this virus will not get into your DNA and start replicating itself. So that's what you have to do. Again, the doctor will probably put you on emergency contraception because you wouldn't want to get pregnant from situations like this. Nobody wants it actually. But then you have to understand that HIV is preventable. But then you have to either abstain or use contraceptives like condoms. But it's not even guaranteed because it can actually break. And then there's these low quality ones that doesn't really do anything, and then the virus is like flying, from here to there, you understand. And then you cannot share sharp objects. It's very dangerous to share sharp objects, like going to the salon to barb your hair. Somebody is barbing your hair, and the next minute he's using the same clipper on a different person, and then he's actually transmitting the disease unintentionally and then unknowingly. Even braiding your hair, going to the salon, you should have your own braiding kits, just as you should have your own clippers. So HIV is actually preventable, but then you have to do the necessary things to actually prevent it. And again, this video is actually a public threat. This is a public health threat. So aside from the fact that HIV is preventable, there are still emergency treatments available for those who are exposed to the virus and those who never even had the disease, but they were exposed to the virus. Like in this scenario, this is not a cure, and this is not for those who already have the disease. This is for those who were probably raped and never even had the virus. You have to understand something. When scenarios like this happen or occur, do not be silent, do not be ashamed. Go to the hospital. There's 90% possibility that this virus will be prevented from replicating in your body. So go to the hospital. Do not be ashamed. There is still 3 days window for you for this virus to be prevented from, replicating in your body. But when you're silent, that's when the virus actually multiplies, and then you live with the disease. And the stigma involved and all that. You wouldn't want to go through that. So that's why I made this. So this video, it's actually criminal. This is dangerous, and this poses a public health risk and threat. This man should be arrested. This man should be placed behind bars. Because, like, why do you even come online bragging about it? Doing this alone is criminal. Coming online to brag about it is worse. I was I was really traumatized watching this video. So honestly, protect yourself out there. Protect yourself, ladies. Protect yourself, guys. Protect yourselves. You know, Work with your pepper spray. Work with your pepper spray. I know that the energy doesn't match, but then work with your pepper spray. Protect yourself the little way you can, because this is not good. Honestly, I was really pushed to do this video because